Beverly came to our church and immediately won everybody's heart. She was so sweet and so talented, and everybody just was really liked her. And she's been such an integral part of the church the whole time she has been here.
As a member of this church for the last 30 years, it is amazing to come every week to a celebration of Christian worship that has been planned so carefully to enrich our experience in getting closer to God.
Catherine and I started thinking, what about church and where would we go to church? And she remembered that Larry had been in Mississippi. So she gave him a call. She found out where he was. And he said, oh yes, you're going to love Tupelo. The church there is fantastic. And Rick, you're going to love singing in the choir. There's a gal there named Beverly Clement who is the director, and she's fantastic. And also you're going to like the minister there. His name is Prentice Gordon. He's just fantastic. Well, we hung up from that phone call, and 5 minutes later, the phone rang again. And who was it on the phone? Prentice Gordon. Larry had called Prentice, and he immediately called us and found out where we were, and he said, you're going to love Tupelo. Our church has got so many things to going for it, and Larry tells me you like to sing, and so the choir program is just fantastic. And he told us about Beverly, and so to make a long story short, we came to Tupelo, joined the church, and that was 35 years ago, believe it or not. It's just been a wonderful run and experience being here. Beverly has been just a huge blessing to us and myself and our family. I couldn't have imagined a church choir that would be able to do all the things that we were able to do. Beverly's brings all kinds of music into play, classical, gospel, just modern, every kind of choral music she's given us a chance to do. And she's just been a wonderful friend and a blessing to me and my whole life here in Tupelo.
We talked about the different styles of music. I think one of Beverly's greatest assets is her ability to plan that meaningful and inspirational worship with her vast knowledge and extensive training with church music. She's just been able to weave the spoken word and the music together where it just seamlessly interacts together. And those plans are facilitated and fostered through our chancel choir rehearsals each week that we have. Beverly's just the most inclusive, accepting, and has that warm spirit where she welcomes everybody.
Beverly, first of all, I'd like to thank you for your leadership in our church during your tenure here. With your leadership, we have acquired the beautiful Ney organ and recently 2 beautiful Yamaha pianos that we will all enjoy for years to come. In the last 2 years, you have unwaveringly provided quality and outstanding music for our church, whether we were virtual, in person, or even pre-recorded. I would be remiss if I did not thank you for the obvious, and that is for your outstanding musicianship. It has been my privilege, my honor, and my pleasure to work with you through the years, and I look forward to working with you in the years to come. Thank you for all that you do and for all that you are.
Beverly, I want to thank you for the music opportunities that you and I got to work with the last few decades. The TCT, June Luska, getting musicians for you and your outstanding, awesome music programs and services at your church. How did I ever know? How did I ever even think that back in 1973 when I saw you cheerleading for the Pontotoc Warriors, and I was in the Houston band, that we get to be working together all these years? I appreciate it, and good luck in your retirement.
Very patient with us. She took her time and made us much better than I felt like I personally was. She elevated the quality of our performances very much.
She always had the gift of taking me, a minimalist musician at best, and bringing the absolute best, out of me. If there was a point in a piece that I had a critical note, she was always good to give me that eye and know that you were going to get that nod and that you were going to hit it and for the betterment of everyone.
When Beverly came to our church in the summer of 1984, Reverend Prentice Gordon was the senior pastor, and they had both served at previous churches where some iteration of the singing Christmas tree had been used as a part of their Christmas celebrations. The decision was made to start a singing Christmas tree program here at FUM, and Prentice, in his usual efficient manner, promised to raise the money, and if Beverly would develop the program and recruit the singers for the tree. The symbolism of the singing Christmas tree is very meaningful to me and to many others. It demonstrates the true meaning of Christmas, bringing our church and the Tupelo community together in the true spirit of giving and remembering that Christ is the center for all Christians. Therefore, with many thanks to you, Beverly, and to Prentice, and to the hundreds of individuals, starting with the Pruitts, forward, who have given their time, money, gifts, and prayers to this important ministry of our church. It is a blessing we hope will continue to improve the lives of the thousands more over the next 40 years.
The one that was selected to talk about the tree itself and getting on the tree, and the first thing I thought of, hey, you have to talk about light up the tree. And Richard might be able to remember this with me, but the first verse, if you remember, it went, light up the tree, let's turn it on, send out a sparkle bright as the dawn, and it will light up the house, inside and out. The brightness will be what it's on when we light up the tree.
Dum, 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 dum.
And that's the way it went. And just about every year we did it, but that was the first song that we would always do. And in singing that, it made me think of some of the other songs that we would sing on the tree. And it made me think of special times, special people. I think Walter Rhodes, his solo with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, being the part of Santa Claus, Rudolph, won't you come and guide my sleigh, and I was really excited about Walter getting to do that, and then I think of Mac McLaurin and singing "Oh Holy Night," such a beautiful voice. And then as we move forward, every time I hear Jingle Bell Rock, I think of Richard and Lisa singing that. So it's all just been so much fun, and to be there, whether it was freezing cold on the tree or it was hot, or oh my gosh, one year I think it snowed.
Thank you, Beverly. Thank you for the privilege of being able to participate in something that's very meaningful certainly for us.
Oh yes.
And
yes.
I think for probably every member of the church. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you too.
Well, I just want to say I consider the day Beverly called me to choreograph dinner theater one of the luckiest days of my life. I'll tell you what I did. I joined the church because I just thought it was so wonderful. And my family joined, and it's been 33, almost 34 years. So the thing I remember about it is that the women were thrilled to do the dance steps, but the men, not so much. But
It's because we couldn't dance.
well, but they got to where they could. We did it, I don't know how many years we did it, but we did the same steps. We started being more elaborate and added more steps, but they all knew my favorite steps, and we did them year after year. So after a while, they were as good dancing as they could sing. And so, what do you think? Should we show them a little bit? Should we stand up?
Sure.
Come on.
Yeah, just one.
Just one thing. All right, here we go.
Watch Sarah's toes.
Ready?
What are we doing?
We're gonna step, touch.
Oh, you okay now?
Step, touch, step, touch, jazz, square. There you go.
All right.
One of my favorite memories of being in the choir are the dinner theaters. And one thing, the choir got so close because we practiced every night for a month. And Beverly and Sarah had us thinking we were ready for Broadway. And we'd sell out, and of course we had elaborate costumes and sets and dance moves, and people loved it. But, and still, people still talk about how great dinner theater was.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably one of my favorite memories of Beverly and the choir here.
Jess decided to go through his computer and figure out how many seconds people have been in the front.
He did that?
He did that one year. I mean, it was smart. I was real impressed that he did that. You know, he was an engineer.
I still never went to the front row, though.
So,
Even after that,
no, you had center stage. You had the light on him. He had solos. He was a great singer.
and he remembered most of the words.
Most of the words,
Yeah. I loved it when he did Long and Winding Road.
Yeah.
Oh my
The
goodness.
Beatles, that was so, yeah.
And of course, one of my favorites was Beverly, Sonia, and Lisa when they were the Supremes.
Yeah,
That's
and
right.
you remember Lisa and Jack doing Tupelo?
Oh, Tupelo?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that was Jack Reed's only...
It was his only dinner theater, but
wasn't it?
they did Tupelo, and then
He said it was taking too much time away from home, you know?
and then he went on to be mayor.
Yeah.
It was a foreshadow
It's all
right
because of
there.
Beverly, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lane Francis and I are going to talk just a little bit about the youth choir. When Beverly started the youth choir shortly after she came to Tupelo to our church, and there have been many, many highlights that the youth have done over the years, but I think something that has to be at the very top is choir tour. From New York to Chicago to Phoenix to all in between, Beverly took us to all of the Methodist churches and to the Methodist senior retirement homes, and we sang, and the kids sang beautifully at all of them, and then we had lots of time for fun and going to museums sometimes. But Beverly has a way of getting the very best out of our kids, and she encourages the students to do their best.
Our youth choir has always led the music at the early traditional service. Miss Beverly tells us that this is our way of giving our time and talent to the church. Beverly has so much talent this year that she started a strings program. She's always looking for ways to showcase the youth. Miss Beverly loves us and we love her.
1984, I was a new member of the worship committee at First Methodist Church, and our pastor then, who was Prentice Gordon, charged us with finding and hiring a full-time music director because we hadn't had one before. And one of our applicants was a young woman named Beverly Clement, who was from Pontotoc, and she had gotten her master's from Scarrett and in organ and church music, and had worked at some churches in Nashville. The day she came, I remember thinking that she was really young and not super tall, and when she said she was going to play the organ, we asked her to play a piece of her choice. We were just astounded with the big and beautiful sound that came out. It just knocked our socks off, and we just thought it was wonderful. The other recollection I have is that one of her letters of recommendation said that people flocked to her. All ages, all types of people just flock to her. And I think that's been the case here at First Methodist for 38 years. She's been a blessing to each of us and to all of us. And I think we had pretty much of a slam dunk hire.
Moved to Tupelo when I was in the 3rd grade, and I immediately joined the choirs here. And then I continued through my senior year as a youth member. Miss Beverly taught me at a young age that we could serve the church through music, and that's what I did. And now here we are 30 years later, and my children are serving under Miss Beverly's leadership. I'm so lucky to have had her as a role model and for her instilling a love of music in me at a young age.
We love you, Miss Beverly. We miss you. Thank you, Miss Beverly. We love you.
Hi, Beverly. Congratulations and a happy retirement.
Thank you, Beverly.
Thank you, Beverly.
Thanks, Beverly.
Thank you, Beverly.
Hi, Beverly. I will remember when I first announced my retirement from Tupelo First in 1998. Jack Reed Sr. commented, "Well, it could have been worse. It could have been Beverly." I understand that sentiment absolutely, because without a doubt, you are the best. And it was a privilege and a joy of mine to work with you. Well done, good and faithful servant.